Okay, what's up, everybody? I'm back. It's Thursday, the 23rd. Been gone for a while. I went on that sci-fi fantasy trip where that was our first trip. The only person we didn't have was Aaron, but we drove out to Arizona, which is like a 6-hour drive. And I think we kind of, Jerry like tried to sort of like use Ryan Lay slow impact event as a reason to get us all together, but it was also like our first time hitting the road. And it was really fun. It was a very, very, very good trip. Gone for like a week, got some clips, sort of hung out a little bit at the slow impact thing. But as you might expect, it was a really going to those events was almost not like an option for me because of if the wrong person locks you down and puts the clamps on you for a conversation, it's fucking brutal. I didn't know this because it's like my first skate trip thing, but there's a term for those people, and they're called punishers. People who just are like, yo, bro, I can't. And then you're like fucking paralyzed. There's nothing you can do. Sometimes people just talk to you and you have no idea how to get out of it. So that happened to me many times. Like I was happy to meet, a lot of people and take selfies and shit. That was cool. But a couple people just they like their social awareness is so fucking crazy. This one dude, I'm sorry if he ever sees this, but I couldn't help but laugh. He like I guess we were drinking at the bar or something, and he like really put me in a corner and had me under his thumb for a while, and then he came back the next morning as I was eating lunch at the skate park, and he's like, "Yo, sorry for blowing up your spot last night. I was drunk." And I was like, "Oh, no problem, bro." And then he's like, "Can I sit down?" And then he sits down next to me, and then does the same thing, and is like, "Can I take a photo of you eating lunch?" and posts it on Twitter. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I wasn't even getting mad. It was just like funny how some people are so fucking psycho. Oh, the other thing that was funny that kept happening is I don't know if this was just a very weird series of coincidences, but there's something weird going on in Arizona. So we were driving through downtown Phoenix, which is nowhere near really all the events that were going on. We were skating some spot, and Max Garson, he skates for Sci-Fi. He just randomly brought up Ted Barrow. I don't even know why. Oh man, it's cool to meet Ted Barrow. He's way taller in person. And then we look out the window and Ted Barrow just spawns moments later on a random corner way far away from the event. He's just standing there and we're like, what the fuck? That was a really weird coincidence. We just talked about Ted Barrow and then there he is. Okay. That's insane already. And it was me, Jerry, and Max in the car, and we were like, oh my God, that was weird. And then I think about 2 days later, I go to tell Ryan about this. I'm like, dude, the funniest thing happened downtown. We were in the car, then Max just talked about Ted, and then Ted appeared 50 feet away from us. It was so bizarre, like he was being spawned or summoned in a video game. As I'm telling this story to Ryan, I have my back faced to like the entrance to the skate park, but Ryan's eyes widen and Ted walks with a bike. He walks behind me through the entrance to the skate park, and I'm like, oh my God, what are the odds of that? As I'm talking about the story of summoning Ted Barrow, that story again summons Ted Barrow. It's like a Ted Barrow summoning inception. That's pretty much my Arizona recap. Next time I'll maybe try to do some work while I'm there, but it's pretty difficult to like get in a room at an Airbnb and like scream into the microphone the way that I do. I honestly don't really think that it was much of an option. I wanted to edit the first thing I recorded before I left, but too much shit has happened for that to be relevant now. Like while I was on the trip, things kept happening. I'm on Skate Line, I guess. Yeah, Gifted Hater. Quarter Snacks, I got put on Quarter Snacks, which was super cool. I was like curious if, because I don't think I've never been featured in like a Thrasher video. I don't think I've ever been featured in like a Quarter Snacks thing. Like Gencom has done a couple of things, but these were like, I think the last like skateboard industry hurdles, I guess. Not that I was even trying to get on Quarter Snacks or get on Skate Line or anything like that. Oh, and of course the Nine Club as well, that like the other huge one. So it all pretty much happened in 1 week, and I was like, wow, this is really fucking weird, and I'm not at home to like talk about this. And there's a lot of conversation happening on YouTube about my part, and a lot of it is really fucking annoying to me, but I mean, that's to be expected. I deserve to get a lot of shit, because I talk a lot of shit. But yeah, I'll talk about some of the people that like review me, but I think essentially I've like kind of spawned this group of like skateboard review type of people who want to do the same thing that I do, which is totally fine, except they like really don't understand skateboarding at all. Like for example, a big thing that people are talking about is like, maybe like a year and a half ago or something, I said that like you usually shouldn't do 50-50 grind kickflips, and then my ender was a 50-50 grind kickflip, and people are like, but you said, it's like, okay, if you guys understood skating, there's no single trick ever where you can't do it under any circumstances. There are spots that allow for certain tricks to be done. Like 50-50 grind kickflip, like on the thing I did it on. This is pretty much one of the only options for this spot. I'm not good enough to like Smith grind in it. Probably wouldn't work. I'd like hit the ground or whatever with my front truck. I 50-50 grinded it. Then I was like, okay, kickflip, because it makes sense. I'm kickflipping away from the wall. I'm also going up something, which is like, I'm launching out of it, which makes sense to do a flip trick. I'm going in between two things, It's just a lot of things about this spot that if you use some context, then you'll be like, okay, if you do 50-50 grind kickflip on a flat ledge at a skate park, there's kind of no reason for that because there's a million other tricks you could do, but there's not a million tricks you could do on this spot. There's only a couple. Yeah, that is one of the things I wanted to talk about. I guess we'll just review the part first. I mean, the first thing that I'm getting shit on the most for by people, which is what I expected to happen, is the music that I put in this part. But I think there's confusion about it. Maybe I'll talk about this publicly because this is the number one thing, but I'll do it first here. People think that this is like an ironic music pick, or that I don't like this music, that I am sort of like trying to shield myself by, skating to something that I don't actually like. And so people are like, oh, he's not being serious. He's not actually, he didn't try to put out a serious part because he's scared of being criticized. No, I 100% like this song. I listen to this song. I listen to a lot of songs in this genre. Like, this is the kind of music that I like. Also, when I do skate park reviews, I use dubstep. And it's like everyone loves the dubstep when I do it in skate park reviews, but when I put some like electronic music in my video part, then people are like, wait, what the fuck? You can't do that. Which, okay, to some degree I can understand because it's my video part, right? And I should take it more seriously, and skate park reviews are like, they're heavy on the comedy. But I actually do like a lot of, I do like a lot of this music, For me personally, like when it comes to dubstep or something, like ironic listening versus non-ironic listening, like hyperpop is not an ironic listen for me personally. And I also think that, if you look at all the colored wheels, bright t-shirts, it kind of matches the theme of like the way that I dress myself and like how I choose to self-express, I guess, like doing lots of combos and shit. I thought the song, for me, for my taste and the way that I skate and the way that I dress myself, I think it aligned quite well. I realize that it's new for people. A lot of people have never heard something exactly like this, so of course they don't like it, which I'm fine with. And like, this is the bigger point about the entire thing, is that for somebody who shits on the music in skate videos so often for being way too safe, just like I did in the last video, every Thrasher edit, like that Vans video, I was almost laughing for some of it, not to say anything about the skating, but it's like, again, it's like, there's such a formula that is there for like emo music, like Ride On Grinds, Bombing a Hill or whatever in LA. It's like, you can play it so fucking safe. Like, the coolest thing to do is to play it safe, And so I think, having said that multiple times on record, and if I put something out that was safe and like was an established type of music, I'd be a complete hypocrite. I think that this fits my skating well. That's my opinion. I think it works well. And I got a couple comments from people that were like, oh, the first time I didn't really feel it, but, after a couple viewings, it started to make more sense to me. This is the type of music I enjoy, and I wanted to skate to it, frankly. And I wanted to try something different. I am much happier having people be like, yo, this music fucking sucks, than for me to like put out some mediocre, like kind of ultra safe emo music on my skate video, and for everyone to be like, oh yeah, dude, good song choice. Like, that's really nice. I know, like, there's a bunch of old heads out there that are like, yo, what the fuck is this? And the YouTube commentators that want to find, like, a reason to shit on everything, which they're not good at, by the way. They fucking suck at it. They want to shit on the music too, which is fine. Shit away. But, like, you know, if I can even make a dent in waking, like, skateboarding up a little bit from the matrix that I think that it's stuck in like the popular skate videos anyway, then that's totally worth it for me. It's also entirely possible that I did make a bad decision with this music. Like, I'm not writing that off. You know, this time next year, I could pull up my part and be totally embarrassed and be like, this was a total mistake. I should have picked something else and I fucked up. If that happens, then that happens. And I can totally live with that. I would rather strike out, you know, swinging for the fences, doing something different than doing the same shit as everybody else does. A little more about the song. I knew that whatever I did, it was going to be polarizing and people are going to have, you know, different opinions on it, and there were going to be people that are just trying to undermine it no matter what I did. So I knew that going in. And the song that I chose is called F the World. And yeah, it's like, it's electronic and it's kind of an edgy pick, but that doesn't mean that I'm being sarcastic. I'm like, you know, there's intention behind the song selection. It was basically saying, like, you know, fuck everybody, here's my skateboarding. And that's not ironic. It's not irony. That's not playing it safe. It's not like I'm just skating to crank that Soulja Boy for no fucking reason because I'm trying to make a joke out of my own skating. For my position in YouTube and, like, the skate industry now, whatever, I felt like this song was pretty fitting for me to drop a part just telling everybody to go fuck themselves, pretty much. So for all, like, the YouTube videos that I knew were going to drop and all the people that are going to be talking shit on Twitter that's like, yo, really, man? He's skating at this spot so lame and wearing this t-shirt and jeans? Are you serious right now? It's like, yeah, that's why I'm skating to a song called F the World, because I'm basically living in an apocalypse of my own creation. Yeah, I mean, pretty much for the editing, like I said, I essentially gave Wesley a timeline because we had back and forths about it where we had totally opposite and warring views about what we wanted this video part to be. You know, you can see the way Wesley put it together on his channel. I know that some people like that. They prefer that. I prefer this. This is why I wanted it this way. I don't like slow-mo. I don't like, you know, milking dramatic moments. I just wanted it to be hard-hitting, fast, prioritize my best clips, and then have it be over, like, before it started. Do you know what I mean? That's what I wanted my video part to be. Wesley has a much more, like, traditional, I would say, like, commercial style than I do. Eventually, I like, got my way, and yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let's start it off. Okay. So this clip's really not that good, but I thought it would work well as an intro because instead of having a title card that said, like, Gifted Hater or something, I had this clip of me wearing the Gifted shirt, which was actually the shirt that I stole the design from. It's an Anchor Blue shirt to make the Gifted merch shirts. So I was like, okay, if we do opening shot of me wearing this shirt, instead of, like, doing a title card, I think that that's cooler to use just footage, you know? I thought that was, like, a much more fun way of doing it. Yeah, a little rat spin, nose bonk 270. Okay, and then this clip, this is obviously, like, not a real line, I guess. I'm skating a curb. And the reason that I even put this in is because I needed something for this section, and I think the no push was, like, kind of a cool idea. Nollie pop, like, back 180, and then just, like, a tiny little grind. But really, like, the main reason that this was usable is because Wesley filmed it really, really, really fucking good. And there's people that are, like, shitting on the filming, and, like, yeah, Wesley does get a little too close with the long lens at time. And also bear in mind that some of these clips are, like, 2 years old. So we weren't as deep in the Strobeck hole at the time when some of this was filmed as we are now. So you got to cut Wesley a little bit of slack there. But Wesley's he's a good filmer, and he's really, really good with the fisheye. Like, he made this line look very interesting when it's not that interesting. It's not that cool of a line, but the way that he filmed it, he made it look really good. I don't always agree with everything that Wesley does. Like, I probably wouldn't have shot this manual like this, starting so zoomed out to open. But when it comes to fisheye filming, Wesley is really, really, really good. And this is like some of the things that like this morning I couldn't sleep, and I just opened this. What was his name? He did the most annoying thumbnail I'd ever seen. I don't remember, but he was like, the filming is so bad. I'm like, yeah, some of it could be better, but like in the clips where the filming, they don't notice it. They don't realize that is good filming. Yeah, some of the filming isn't great, but by and large, I think the filming in this part is pretty okay. Anyway, yeah, this pressure ollie manual thing. And then, okay, this is probably the worst filmed clip in the part, I think. Yeah. A little too close for my taste. This is one of the oldest clips in the part, though, I should say. And someone asked that, like, one of the questions I got in the comments was there any trick that you wanted to do but you couldn't? This was one of them. After I landed this, I did this in like 5 or 10 goes. I wanted to do fakie ollie nose grind 180 to manual backside flip out. That's what I wanted to do at this spot, but I just couldn't really do it for some reason. So yeah, this wasn't filmed the best. It was also like kind of random that I landed it. So I don't know if Wesley was fully locked in yet, but yeah, that's kind of the story behind why this was filmed a little bit questionably. And then this trick, you know, there's some tricks in here that I probably wouldn't do anymore. I don't think that I would spend time doing a nose bonk, big spin, fakie big flip in like a parking lot, you know. I think I would try harder to choose like a cool spot or something to do this at, because this is kind of like just a boring Orange County parking lot. But, you know, I'm not going to just like throw away all this footage. There's a lot of footage that I didn't use. Like over half the footage I did not use, but I still kind of like that this shows, I guess, a part of my skateboarding that is the strongest, which that I'm like a little quick foot goblin. That's sort of my thing. So it's not really reflective of where I am now with my skating. It's not like a contemporary clip, but it does show like the stuff that I was skating when I did live in Orange County and when I just first started filming with Wesley. So I do kind of like it for that reason. That's why I left that in. And also, after I landed this, you might notice there's a bit of teetering on the fisheye. I guess out of the 1,000 knobs and switches that are on the HP VX 2 million, Wesley forgot to flip one of them, so there was like an image stabilization problem. So I spent like 2 hours trying this trick after and couldn't do it, but I did it like, I think like 8th try. Okay, and then this is one of my better clips in my opinion. So something like this is an Eagle Rock High. Nollieing into nose manual, I think, really helped this clip. Like, if I had just ollied into nose manual, I think that if you ollie in a nose manual on a small curb, it just doesn't really look that good. It looks like too much of your momentum is lurching forward. And when you nollie into it, your weight is kind of already at the front, and it just makes the trick look more smooth. So this entire combo was like all really front loaded. It was all nose and nollie. And I like the way that this one kind of turned out. That's one of my favorite clips. I had really good luck. Some of my best clips this day, I filmed this clip and the blunt slide fakie manual flip out. I think it was the fact that the wheels matched my outfit with the green and black. So, okay, here, this is like in the peak of my irony pilled shit right here. And, you know, if I was going to review my part, which I'm doing right now, if I'm going to give shit to me, which it's like, I don't know, like this is some of the people who are like trying to kill me on YouTube or whatever, just like make fun of me, you know, which is, again, totally fine and understandable. I just wish they were a little better at it, honestly. Dude, I did a fucking 5-0 grind 180 out on a curb, and nobody said anything. I haven't read a single comment. Maybe there are some. Not any of the YouTube videos that I've watched about me. Nobody has fucking mentioned that I did a 5-0 grind 180 on a curb. Ollie in, too. Nobody said a fucking word. It's like, oh, wow. You know, if you want to talk about, like, shielding yourself with irony, the fact that I'm wearing a fucking Jesus monster hat, I'm skating a real board, and there's a Spitfire sticker on my shoe, and my grip tape says Starbucks on it, then yeah, there's definitely some irony shielding going on in here. This is an old clip. If you're going to come for me, get me for that shit, you know? But yeah, this was the peak of my my ironic powers, I think. This clip is really chaotic. But I mean, I ended up using it because I did the fakey tail slide, you know, big flip out, like weirdly clean for me. So I kept it in. And also, okay, the story with the Spitfire sticker is these are canvas high tops. And I was trying a flip trick. They were already really blown the fuck out. This was at a point in time where, like, Last Resort had very few shoes in the warehouse. They had, like, nothing in my size. So the only shoes that I had, I'd been skating, like, a pair of canvas high-top Last Resorts for, like, 2 months. And the side of them was completely blown out. You can see a hole here and a hole here. And so I was, like, bleeding trying to do this trick, literally. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll just stick a Spitfire sticker on my shoe. And that helped. It was just a Band-Aid. So yeah, that's why I have a Spitfire sticker. This is probably the best trick in my part, I think. And it's not an ender trick, but I think that, like, I did it the best. I did it the cleanest. Like, Wesley filmed this really, really fucking good. This is another thing where everyone's like, dude, you're filming so bad. Do you have any idea how fucking well Wesley filmed this shit? If you look at the way other people film this spot, Wesley, he was so smart about where he stood. Like, he stood right next to it, right here, gets the ollie up. It's such a good angle. Like, honestly, I've never seen, maybe somebody has, but I've never seen anyone else stand where Wesley stood at this spot. And other filmers DM me and like, he filmed that perfectly. So everything aligned on this clip, in my opinion. This was my best trick of the part, probably the best filming of the part too. So I just used it as like the mid banger because it's a manual combo trick. And this part is filled with manual combos. So it wasn't like, it didn't really make sense as an ender. In my ender, it was a grind trick. I don't really grind and all my friends were sitting around. So it just kind of like made sense to use that from that perspective. So, yeah, it's in the middle of the part, but I think this is probably my best trick. And I did it, like, I think, like, 11th or 12th try. Like, in the clip that I posted on my Instagram, you can see that I, like, roll away and I shake my friend Tom's hand. And I was like, I was really surprised. I was like, well, that, like, I expected to be there for like 3 hours, honestly, but it took me probably like 10 or 15 minutes, which was very cool. I'm not complaining because usually, this is another thing, some of these reviews people are doing, and I'm referencing really one in particular. You can watch it. I'll put it on screen, but this guy's like, yo, is he really trying for this part? Like, I don't get it. Like, do people think that I would fucking put out a full ironic street part? Like, is that how fucking afraid I am of being sincere? That I would use all of my best footage and put it out, like, ironically? No, dude, I fucking put my dick out on the chopping block the same way that everybody else does. That's the point of this. The point of this video part isn't to, like, fucking troll everyone, you know, and be like, oh, look how stupid skateboarding is. Like, I'm gonna make a joke. No, I tried my fucking best for this video. Like, this is the best skating that I'm capable of, and it takes me a long-ass time to do it. Part of why this took so long for this to come out, because I'm not a pro skateboarder. I don't go out every day and try tricks. I could have done it faster for sure. But, like, you know, I'm not pro. Like, I am not the type of guy that you see, like, who can fucking, I'm not like John Delo at the skate park or something who can, like, fakey flip, fakey manual, fakey tray flip out every single time. If I'm gonna do a fakey manual, fakey tray flip, that takes me fucking forever. Because when I try to do the tricks proper, but I'm not pro. I am not built for this shit. I'm doing my best, honestly. And I'm not saying that nobody can criticize me or whatever, but, like, the fact that some people watched this part and thought that it was a joke, that is the most, like, chronically poisonous online perspective I think you could have on this thing. And it's kind of sad that I have to, like, in my opinion, I think it's sad that I have to get on the internet and be like, no, guys, I actually did try for this. Of course, anybody who, like, understands skateboarding in the slightest, like, nobody, like, no, like, on the 9 Club or whatever, no, like, nobody that actually skateboards was like, is this a joke? Everyone knows that I'm trying. You can see that I'm trying. But, like, you know, some of the fans that I have created, like, the type of, like, people who just watch my YouTube videos and don't even skateboard, have never even tried street skateboarding, those are the people that I think that are saying shit like that. So I'm partly to blame. I've created this problem, but it is very, very frustrating to hear people talk about, like, your skateboarding and be like, is this some type of, like, genius, like, psyop, like, 4D chess thing? No! It's not. It's not that fucking deep. I'm just doing what I said I would do, which is put out a fucking video part. God damn it. That one dude, he's like, oh my God, he's like, he spoke in like the most toxic internet terms. He was like, yo guys, I have a hot take right now. I think Gifted Hater only has 2 outfits. He either wears a t-shirt and jeans, or he wears a flannel. I've never seen him like wear like a puffer jacket or anything like that. I think that he's playing it kind of safe. I'm like, wait, your hot take is that I wear jeans and a t-shirt like every single fucking other person in skateboarding and pretty much in general society? Do you want me to go and film a fucking puffer jacket clip in the middle of LA for no fucking reason? Do you know how stupid that would be? This is the type of, like, okay, this is how, like, dumb you have to be to do the style of reviews that people, zero practical knowledge goes into what they're discussing. They're like, they don't think, okay, this guy's in LA, it's probably fucking 80 to 90 degrees here. Why isn't he putting on a puffer jacket to do a manual clip? Because it's hot as fucking balls, because the tricks that I'm doing are taking place in real life. I think people think, like, that don't skate or that don't really know about skating, that want to start like a YouTube channel to talk about skating, that, like, all of this shit happens in a simulation. It does not. And maybe you can say I'm giving myself, you know, more leeway and like credit than I give other people. Maybe I am. I don't know. I understand, like, I'm very critical, and I don't always, like, maybe I'm not always the nicest to the people that I'm talking about. But, like, dude, seriously, if you're gonna ask why I'm not wearing a fucking puffer jacket in Los Angeles, to any person that goes outside, that sounds stupid as fuck. So this clip, I actually did this like a year ago, and I did it really clean, and then we noticed that on the way down, when I was coming out of the Wally on the way down, my tail touches the ground, and it's like, if it wasn't me, if it was anyone else, I think it would be like kind of a gray area where it's like you don't really have control over your board yet. It's like kind of a violation, kind of not a violation. Like for a lot of people, I think they could take it or leave it. Because it's my video part and because I've harped so much about touching on manuals, like I had to talk to Wesley. I was like, we have to go back and do it again, dude. Like, it's really not an option for me to have a violation of any kind in my video part. So we went back and did it again. I did it worse, and I was also, at this time, I was skating this waterfall sci-fi graphic, and this shape was horrible. Jerry doesn't make this shape anymore, and he knows that it sucked. I don't even know why these got put into production, but this board was extremely hard to skate, and I was like very frustrated because I had already done it clean, and I ended up kind of landing sketchy. Like, look at that shit. But yeah, I went back. It took me a long time to do this for some reason. I don't even know why it took me so long, because this trick's not that hard. It's basically the story behind this one. This is in Glendale. It's pretty close to where I live now. Okay, and then some people are like, did he do the same trick twice? No, this is not the same trick that was in the first one. I wish I didn't have to repeat a spot. It's just that opening worked really well. So I used it again. This one was kickflip across instead of just riding, and then rat spin. There's actually a version of this that I prefer, but Wesley really wanted to use this one, so I was like, okay, whatever. You know, I'm already pretty much getting my way on the song and like the entire timeline. If Wesley wants to use this one, then I'm not going to argue with him. But yeah, the point of this trick was that you can see over here, it's like kind of narrow. So you like kickflip over this gap on the narrow concrete. It wasn't that easy to do, honestly. It was kind of difficult. and then after you land, like pretty much no feet adjustment, just into like a nose bonk 270. Okay, then this is the one that Chase Walker filmed. I got a comment asking me about Chase, and yeah, this is my most recent clip. Filmed this in Ventura while I was over there. We just took like a random trip because the Late Night Stars crew, you guys maybe know who that is. It's Trung is in there, Zach, like Nico. If you go on Chase Walker's YouTube channel, watch his latest thing, pretty much all those guys. I have to say, like, I didn't really get how good the last video that Chase Walker put out on his YouTube channel was until I watched it again. I watched it on the TV while we were in Arizona. I was like, holy shit, this is so fucking good. After watching that Vans video of just like uninspired, like AI generated fucking like skateboard machine bullshit, that Chase Walker video, you guys should watch that. I'll link that. But that video is very, 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 very fucking good. The skating, the editing, the whole thing. But yeah, Chase filmed this. And I know I sound like I'm getting buddy-buddy with people that I know in real life. No, just like, genuinely, that was amazing. Like, the last thing that Chase put out was super duper good. This was like, I guess like a little log spot. And I did kickflip front board, shove, and there's like this big crack in the ground, so it kind of sucks to like skate through on that side. This took me too long. It took me like an hour to do, and everybody had already landed everything, and I was like stuck doing it, and I was like felt so bad. But I did a clean one also to regular, and I think that one's going to be in Chase's next video. But yeah, I was pretty happy with this, I guess. Okay, this is, I think, actually one of my least favorite clips. Because I'm going like kind of slow in here. If you notice, generally I try to skate really fast because I just think that it makes my skating look a lot better. And it just like, something about this didn't like feel totally correct to me. And I used it because I like the idea. I actually stole the idea from Chandler Big Nakey. You'll see in his Castle Freak part that he put out, he did backboard to blunt, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, I just started skating with him, like, I was like, mind if I try to 270 out of that? So I completely stole this trick, and Luke filmed this one. But yeah, I think like a flat ground trick in the beginning or a flat ground trick at the end could have helped this a little bit. It feels a little empty in the front and a little empty in the back, and just really like loaded in the middle. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but like, this is not my favorite clip, but I liked the trick. I just wish that I did it faster and I did like something in the beginning or in the end of it, because I think that would have helped a lot. But yeah, I liked how Luke like moved the fisheye. Luke is very like smart about like adding movement and distractions in clips when they can seem like kind of boring. Luke really knows how to like liven up a board slide, you know? Changing to this angle really quick and then dipping back down. Very nice on Luke's part, in my opinion. I think he filmed that excellently. And then Luke filmed this one also. Well, impossible. And then Ride on Grind 360. This is an amazing spot. This is in Glendale. It's so fucking good. But yeah, I mean, really the point of this one, I was like, I just want to do like a really nice impossible. And I think that was a pretty good impossible. And then one push. And then just, you know, a little. This is not the hardest thing that's ever been done on this by a long shot. But I was like, I should probably have a grind trick or two. So yeah, I'm a hypocrite doing a ride on grind in LA, but at least it's not on someone's porch. Okay, this fucking trick. All right, this is definitely one of the better tricks in the part. I didn't do this as well as I wanted to. So ollie back 50, and I'm skating thunders. This is why I had thunders in the last clip too, is because I was skating like rock hard, like cramped, like tightened down thunders to try to stay in this 50-50. I made like a 50-50 board setup to skate this spot. And then this little like nollie big spin thing, if you can see like where my front truck is, it goes around the side of it. It's a square pillar, and I go from one side of the square to the other side of the square, which was kind of like a challenging thing to do because I wanted to go fast so I could make the 50-50, and when I rolled away, it would still look cool. But if I went too fast, then I wouldn't be able to make it around the side of that corner to do that big spin, because if I just hit the front of it, it would not work. I had to turn it around the corner for the trick to be possible, or else it would just fly behind me. So this was really hard, and I think I went back twice. And this is the downside of skating tight trucks here. You see where I land, I'm not fully rotated, and I try to turn out of it, but my trucks are too tight, and I roll into the dirt. But I'll turn the audio up for this. What Wesley does here that is good, and this is why you need like an experienced editor. You know, Wesley actually does freelance video work. He really knows what he's doing, and like why I can't just edit my own video part. He knows how to fix things like this. He buffers the audio from the next clip into this clip. So while I'm riding into the dirt, your ears kind of get distracted, and they're like, okay, here's the next thing that's going on. There's more action, so you're not like, wait, is that guy rolling into the dirt? So I wanted to get this better. Frankly, I just couldn't. I could have gone back like a third time, but I was like so fucking bummed on it. I had already tried it a million times. And I think that it was good enough to go in the part. But yeah, it could have been better. So you hear that right as I start rolling into the dirt, you hear the audio from the next clip. So that was pretty smart. I'm grateful to Wesley for thinking of that solution. I think that helped. Okay, this one, I got a comment from somebody that was like, it triggered me how you front 180'd up the curb. And sure, whatever. I guess like front 180'ing up a curb isn't like the coolest thing to do. But this was really, really, really hard for me, this clip. I went back twice for this, and I almost gave up this day. I think I'd probably tried it for like 2.5 hours. My stomach was eating itself, and I was just like fucking miserable. But I didn't front 180 up the curb for no reason. For this pad, you can't go at it straight, really. Like, look, there's a wall here, there's a wall here. You can't just throw down straight on at this pad. You have to carve into it, and I wanted to do a fakie manual, so I front 180'd up the curb, and I carved into it fakie. Sure, if I did a backside flip up the curb or something, would that have been more technical and like... Yeah, probably, but this was already extremely difficult for me, and I think that just front 180'ing up the curb and then turning around and hitting it fakie was the best way of problem solving for something like this. So I get some people didn't like that, but it actually like made sense for me and this spot to do it that way. And then that YouTube, the guy Gato Box or whatever, on his YouTube, he's like, the only funny thing that I think he pretty much said in the entire video is like, this guy's literally wearing the Sid from Toy Story fit, which I was like, okay, yeah, you had to dig really deep for that one. But also, I'm wearing a Zero t-shirt in all black. Like, how many people in the world, how many people in skateboarding have worn an all black Zero fit? 10 fucking million thousand? So, you know, it's like, sure, I guess that Sid from Toy Story also wears this, but this has been done a million thousand Brazilian times. Okay, and then Mike filmed this one. That's Chandler's boyfriend. And that was an okay clip. I just was kind of like scraping the bottom of the barrel here to just fill the 2 minutes with something that I liked. That was kind of hard. That's at the right arm grind that you've probably seen a lot. That's what's over here. Let me go back. Yeah, this is where the right on grind is. So we went to go look at that spot, and I was like, this fucking sucks. I don't want to skate this. So instead, I just skated I made a pretend manual pad out of the clay top up here, and then ollied out. I have a theory about skate spots, which is kind of like that when there is a skate spot, there's usually a lot of other stuff around the skate spot that you can skate as well. Like certain areas just have like a magical little like spot property to them, and I think that this was one of them. You know, there's a ride on grind, but there's also a bunch of other shit that you can do right around here. Okay, and then this. All right, so first of all, I wish that there was like another angle that we would have gotten for this. I'm kind of bummed we didn't, because at the front of it, you can't really tell, but there's like a gap to ollie. So it's like, I think this is a little harder than it maybe looks. So you can see that I kind of have ollie quite a bit to get on there. And then, yeah, the next thing I guess you could notice is like, first of all, I don't touch the wall, which is like the hardest part of doing a grind next to a wall, is not touching it. But yeah, 50-50. And then you see right here, there's this like, this pole is like a pole for a sign, and it's wedged between this pole. You'll see up here, there's this thicker piece of metal. You cannot grind through this. So it happened a couple times where my truck hit the front, and obviously I didn't go anywhere. So the difficult part about this trick was timing the kickflip right before my front truck was about to hit, which I fortunately did. It got pretty close there. And then kickflip out. And it's not that obvious, but there is like a, you know, not a huge gap by any means, but there's a gap. Like I ended up getting stuck like with my my back wheels in this lip here a couple times. So transferring between here and here was, you know, kind of tough. The spot was a little harder to skate than I think it looked. And Ryan Lay actually made this spot. This is again like by some other spot that we came to look at, and Ryan was just like wandering around, and then he ended up jamming this pole in there. And for some reason, he didn't want to skate it. I don't even know how I got roped into this. I never would have tried this if Ryan didn't make me. Like, I did the 50-50, and then I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, all right, well, I'll just try to kickflip out of it a couple times. And I think it probably took me like 30 or 40 minutes to do this one. So I'm thankful to Ryan for like making this spot, figuring this out, and then like just making me do it. Because there were multiple times where I was like, I don't really know if this is like this is kind of like my thing exactly. But I surprised myself a little bit with this, and that I was able to do it. It felt really, really good. I wish the whole thing didn't have to be in slow-mo, but I didn't have any other clips that I wanted to put in here. I wanted to jump off something, but first of all, I'm really bad at jumping off shit. And second of all, like right before I put this part out, I was going to go on that Sci-Fi AZ trip, and I was like, dude, I really don't want to like fucking hurt myself before I'm supposed to like go on this trip with the team. Because if I miss that, then like that's a really, really bad look for me, and that's just going to be like super lame if I miss out on like the first like kind of team bonding experience that we have. So I just didn't. I was like, fuck it, I'll just put out the part. And then, yeah, all my friends are sitting here. So I was like, this makes sense to just use as an ender. So I did. And yeah, that's it. 2 minutes, 19 seconds worth of skating. I know some people are like, dude, it's pretty fucking short. Yeah, it's short, but like there's quite a few tricks in here. Like it's not like I'm not jamming you up here. I'm not spending half the time doing slow-mo. I know the ender was all slow-mo, but there's enough tricks in here for a full part, you know. I did zero B-roll, minimal slow-mo. I tried to cut to the chase as much as I could. There aren't like big roll-ups or big roll-aways for a lot of this stuff. There's enough tricks for a part. So yeah, if you look at it from the time, like just from the perspective in terms of, you know, the amount of time that it takes up in a YouTube video, then yeah, it's not very long. But what is in here, I would say that it's definitely packed with, you know, enough substance to justify calling it a part. That's my opinion anyway. So I think this is my best like to dislike ratio ever, 108 dislikes. All right, so let's go look at some of the questions now. Did Jerry Sue force you to put out a part? No, Jerry actually had nothing. Jerry actually had nothing to do with this. Ryan saw the part and he was like, "Oh, that should have been a sci-fi part." But I was like, "What? Why?" It was already difficult enough for me to like get it done with Wesley, like introducing a third party into it with like their own like ideas and visions of what they wanted it to be. That would be a nightmare. So I am filming because I think what we're trying to do for Sci-Fi is put out a video hopefully next year. And I'm filming for that now. That's the next thing that I'm working on. So there will be something there, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. But no, Jerry didn't have anything to do with this. And then, yeah, I did make it on Skateline. I'm not going to watch the Skateline stuff. I think people have seen it, but Gary was really, really nice to me. So thank you, Gary. Yeah, I was kind of surprised because I know he was just like traveling with Tyshawn and shit. And I was like, I wonder if those guys were like sitting around like laughing at my video part or whatever. But, he put me on Skateline and he was like really nice about it. So, yeah, that was cool, I guess. I don't know why he's being so nice to me, honestly. Okay. I don't take skating too seriously, and I love the part, but here's something maybe you could address. You talk shit about other people and dissect their parts, and I think that was weighing on you. I know you also have some anxiety, and part of me wonders if your choice trick selection fits was a bit of a hedge. Again, I'm not hedging anything. I get the Starbucks t-shirt, the Starbucks grip tape thing. That was ironic, but that's just how I like to do it, honestly. I'm not hedging myself. And the tricks that I'm not trolling with these tricks. These are the tricks that I'm good at. I'm good at, I am best by far at combo skating. Easily, that's what I'm best at. You wanted to keep the out to say it was a joke. No, I didn't. You weren't taking it seriously. Yes, I was, in case people were trashing it. Here's the thing. People are going to trash what I do anyway. And I understand this perspective because what I'm doing is way more bombastic and appears to be kind of trolly, but this is what I like. This is what I want to see out of skateboarding. I want to see bright colors. I want to see loud, obnoxious music. I want to see something different. I want to see combos. I have the same attitude about my street part as I do about my YouTube videos. I'm trying to make the content that I want to watch. Applies for commentary and also applies for my video part. I'm not hedging. Just because I didn't skate to Jack Johnson or something, and backsmith an 11 stair, which I can't fucking do, by the way. I did skateboarding the way that I like to do it. I get, again, why it can look like I'm joking around or it's ironic at times. This was not ironic. I thought what I did was cool. Genuinely, I tried to do something cool. I did my best. I wasn't joking around. There was no hedge. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just want to say that you don't need to think that way. You made it this far by being yourself, and this part was unique and entertaining. Lean into it. I'm curious, what about it are you thinking, was a joke? My trick selection? I think I'm just kind of, I think maybe what is, I don't know, confusing to people a little bit is, I'm just kind of I don't know, maybe I'm just not the most sincere presenting looking individual in the way that I dress myself, I'm a little irony pilled anyway, but this is what I think is cool. I promise you that I was not hedging. I genuinely did my best to make something sick. Oh yeah, and then this is the AI video, which is a mega mind fuck. Okay, you want to go on the 9 Club? They said they're down after watching the part. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would go on the 9 Club because I'm nothing like those dudes, honestly, and I just don't think that it would be that conducive of an environment for me to go and do my thing and them to do their thing. And, we'll get into this a little bit, but it seems like Steezus doesn't care for me, which is totally fine. He's entitled to not like me. But the other thing is, I said this about the bunt, and I'll say it again about the 9 Club, because they get so much pressure from the audience to be invite him on, you should have him on, you should get him on. That they say, oh yeah, we'd be down to have him on. Yeah, sure, why not? But they never DM me. The 9 Club has not DM'd me, and neither has the bunt. So I'm not gonna be DM them and be hey guys, you said you'd have me on. I think if they really wanted to have me on, they would ask. And even if they did ask, I'd probably say no. I just don't think it's something I'm interested in doing, really. But yeah, that's the major thing. And I know you guys don't know that. Most of you guys don't know that they haven't DM'd me. But they haven't DM'd me. And, if you think about it if you were going to put yourself in their shoes, if you wanted somebody on the show, 99.9% of the time, how do you think they make that happen? They don't say publicly, yeah, we'll have that guy on. They probably DM the person and say, would you like to come on? Because that's what getting an actual invite is. So, no, I'm not going to DM the 9 Club or DM the bunt and be you guys said you'd have me on, have me on. I don't want to do that at all. Thoughts on the recent phenomenon of lonely adult males attempting to compile forensic character analysis of you, posting pics and videos of you as a child, looking to hop on this gravy train myself and need a scoop. Thanks, King. Yeah, I mean, it's weird as fuck, frankly. And I don't know. I feel like there is a certain personality type that like does very strange YouTube videos on me. Just speaking specifically about the dude that I know this guy is talking about, and maybe I'll probably watch this video on stream at some point so you guys will know more what I'm talking about. But what really bothers me about this like middle-aged guy is the matter-of-fact tone in which he speaks and how he's so arrogant. Like, he is the one being logical in the room, presenting the adult opinion about me and what I do, while he's like comparing me to Aaron Cairo and fucking Andy Schrock, being like, well, on YouTube you have to be silly. And then he watched my video part, and what he said was, yeah, you know, if I was like 8 years younger and I didn't live in the middle of nowhere, I think that I could probably also do these tricks too. And then I like go to his YouTube channel and I watch him do like a fakey Smith stall on a fucking quarter pipe, wearing like joggers, Kyle Walker shoes, and a Santa Cruz shirt that doesn't really fit his fat body. So, you know, these kinds of people, it's like, to watch that is incredibly frustrating with how delusional he is and how fucking stupidly arrogant he also is when he looks at my footage and he's like, yeah, this looks like it was filmed on a DSLR. No, dude. Also, he fucking runs a camera channel. So I watched like 5 minutes of the video this guy did about me, and it was so fucking pointless and aggravating. Maybe I won't watch it on stream, but yeah, I think I should just not look at it. It's going to exist whether I comment on it or not. It's really annoying with how predictable some of this stuff is, I gotta say as well. That's another element that is a bummer. Like, I just did a video about other YouTube skaters, and I really gave Aaron Cairo a lot of shit for his skating. So out of the 2 reviews of my video part that I have watched, both of them compare me to Aaron Cairo, and it's like, you know, can you guys like come up with your own idea maybe? Is that like possible? It's just so unfun. It's also not to say that nobody can talk about me because I'm a public figure. I talk about other public figures. It's fair game. But again, I just really wish that the people that did talk about me were better at it. I don't love it. I'm not going to lie, but I also like, again, I've kind of created this monster a little bit. You know, it's like, if you put yourself out there, you're like a public entertainer. It doesn't really matter what you do at some point or another. There's going to be some weird people that want to get involved. And that's what's happening. Luckily, nobody's throwing bricks through my window. Is it annoying sometimes? Absolutely. But is it something that I can live with? Yes. It's congrats on turning yourself skateboarder. Thank you. Why was the extra edit you did far more entertaining? I didn't do the extra edit. I know that the stuff Wesley does is way more up other people's alleys. I get that. Believe me. It's just not my thing. I preferred the video part that went on my YouTube channel. Where would you put the We Make It Look Easy if you could put it in once? Probably on the same clip that Quarter Snacks used. Okay, how does your position as skateboarding critic affect your skating? Do you feel like everything needs to be defendable by it's a meme? No! It's not ironic, it's not a meme, because people are bound to throw your own criticisms at you. If so, isn't just saying it's ironic the same as hushing beef by saying it's just skateboarding? I'm not saying this is a dig. Really enjoyed your part and loved you. Well, it would be the same, except that's not what I'm doing. Maybe you guys will like understand a little more now that I've talked about it. But yeah, there's parts of this video that I think I can attack myself for. Like, this line was pretty whatever. And, you know, the filming here wasn't great. But by and large, you know, I think the tricks... Oh, yeah, also this 5-0 180 out was like, come on, guys, wake up. Who's not going to give me shit for that? But by and large, like, the tricks that I did, I think, made sense. You know, I didn't choose dumb tricks at spots. In my opinion, I tried to be smart about the tricks that I did where I skated. You know, I don't do like, you know, manual, you know, 4-wheel touch to nose manual things. Like, try to be intelligent about the tricks that I do, and I want them to make sense. You know, the same way that I criticize other people skateboarding, and that same mindset I keep when I go skateboarding in real life. You know, I try to pick smart tricks, and I try to do good skateboarding with the skill that I have. So The biggest way to answer your question that being a skateboarding critic affects my skating, I'm very, very fixated on not touching at all for any manuals, because I can't do that. I can't be a hypocrite, Maybe also if I wasn't a skateboarding critic, I probably would never put out a video part also. Yeah, the only way that it really affected it is I was just really, really conscious not to do like any touches on manuals. I like the part. I think it's a little fast-paced editing-wise. I know you don't like corny B-roll, but I think it could have used some space for the tricks to breathe between clips. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's definitely a fair criticism, and that's like a big stylistic thing. It could have been slowed down a little bit. But this FML guy kind of like, I think he gets where I'm coming from a little bit. I wanted some like, internet montage, like hardcore, like hard-hitting shit, I wanted my clips to come hard and come fast, okay? Does that make sense? So, yeah, maybe, like, we'll see how someone else, like, edits my footage in that sci-fi video when it comes out, but, like, maybe I am really self-critical, and that's why it went so fast, because I didn't want it to, like, a bunch of slow-mo and for people to be like, oh my god, who the fuck does this guy think he is? But this is genuinely, like, the way that I liked it the most. Why is giving the filmer the finger such a prevalent move by everyone after the make? Doesn't that hurt Wesley's filming feelings? Okay, so this Bren is talking about the extra edits that Wesley put up, and I don't know why I did that so much. Like there's like 5 clips, none of them that I use for my video part, where I'm just flipping off the camera all the time. I have no clue why I was obsessed with that. At some point I stopped. I haven't done it for a while. But yeah, I mean, it's a fair observation, and Wesley doesn't seem bothered by it. He keeps putting it in the edits, but yeah, it made me cringe when I was reviewing some of the clips. I'm like, why am I doing this so much? This is really fucking annoying. So yeah, I agree. I don't know why it's such a prevalent move. Was this your sci-fi sponsor me or your limousine please poach me part? Well, after my trip to Arizona, I have no interest in being poached. I love everybody that I was skating with, honestly. It was really, really, really chill. Will you continue to film with Wesley, or is getting footage for sci-fi now taking top priority? I just think that Wesley and I are probably both happy that we didn't kill each other and that this is now on the internet. I had a good time filming with Wesley, and we'll continue to be friends, but like it got a little beefy at the end there. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was expecting a bit more in the length department. Not the first time I've heard that. From the part, since the teaser was already close to the same length as your full part, but still enjoyed. Okay, well, again, what you got to think about from the teaser that Wesley put out is that shit was entirely in slow motion, and what was it, like 2 or 3 tricks, So I don't know how many tricks I did in my part, like 15 or something, but like, it's not always about the length, okay? Sometimes there are other factors that are important when quantifying penises in video parts. Great part, your hat game is on point. Was wondering why you didn't include any B-roll, like 16mm clips of you rolling in the grass or Baker-style clips of you smoking weed / getting into fights. Yeah, I'll try to do like a Van-style Etienne, like being naked in the hotel room, like throwing a lamp at my friend type thing for the next one. Is it hard for you to not cringe at yourself watching yourself skate? Only when I flip off the camera. Oh, Greg Letzka's profile picture is fucking sick. That's funny, dude. He put the fedora and he's peeing on my emoji. Any particular reason there was no homie clips? Would like to see something from Dono or Miley, or they just not occur? I don't know. I don't think that there were any clips really where I did something at a spot and any of my friends did something at a spot too. That would have worked in my part. Also, some people are like, why didn't you put Ryan Lay in there like as a guest clip? And I'm like, okay, dude, me putting pro skater Ryan Lay in my part is like the same thing as making a dating profile and putting your friend in there who has way fatter tits than you do. It's like, probably not the best strategy for getting likes. There's gonna be people that are swiping right on you and be like, so who's your friend there? I like the look of them. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna, I was conscious of not to do that. And maybe I'm like, maybe I'm being like too self-critical or whatever, but I don't think that it would have been a great idea for Ryan to blow me out of the water in my own part. Yeah, were you happy with the part? Yeah, overall, I like the part, and I'm proud of it. I wish that I had one more hard clip in there, but it just didn't work out that way, and I didn't feel like getting hurt before I went on a trip. I was hoping you would release it through Pocket Mac to support skate media, especially after having followed the video. I mean, that would have been nice, and maybe I'll do that next time. But I mean, this is my first part. I really just wanted to have it on my YouTube channel and have full control over everything. I don't like I said, it was already difficult with Wesley and I fighting to the death over everything. I don't need to go through some magazine as well, Everything happened in a day or two when we finally agreed on the song. We were just like, let's just fucking do it. Let's just put it out. Let's just get it over with. So I wasn't about to be like, so Pocket Skate Mag, want to premiere this in a month? No, I was good on that. So in the future, I'd definitely be open to doing Pocket Skate Mag or something, but the video's not monetized. In fact, the song had 0 copyright on it, which was weird until I think yesterday or 2 days ago, where whoever the copyright holder was like, wait a second, this video has 100,000 views of my song, and then they put their copyright thing on it. But it's probably just one ad in the beginning, so that's fine. How much footage did you end up tossing because it didn't make the cut? Why did you cut the clips you cut? IMO loved the 0 B-roll approach. It makes it more easily researched. I don't know what you mean by that, but I just cut the clips that I thought were lame. That's really the easiest way that I can explain it. Some of them some were just too long and not hard enough. I just wanted to put my hardest clips in there and have it be 2 minutes of my best shit. If you could have one celeb guest trick in the part, who would it be? Ja, Ryan DeCendo, John Hill, Barra, Crooked Switch, Ollie, Tyshawn, your pick. Probably Nyjah would be the sickest guest trick to have. Either that or Barra, because those are the biggest memes, easily. I do get tired of some of the memes, but that would be hilarious if I had a guest trick from either of those guys. I guess I should talk about the fact that on the 9 Club that Steezus didn't say a single word the whole time that my part was on, which I don't know why he doesn't really like me. There could be a multitude of reasons. He could be friends with Tyshawn. He could be friends with Nyjah. He might be friends with Mikey Alfred as well. I think that he's gotten sensitive about illegal civ comments on the 9 Club in the past. He doesn't think that shit is cool at all. And he just wants to defend his friend. So I think that's the most likely reason for it. But also people I've had this brought up a lot, and people are acting like it's a very big deal. But it's fine, Steezus Christ does not have to like me. I do plenty of shit that I could see that would rub people the wrong way. So if he doesn't want to participate in some celebration of my video part, that is totally fine, and I totally understand. And to be completely transparent and honest, this isn't even shady or intended as a diss. I don't really care if Steezus Christ likes me. I'm just going to be honest. I don't need everybody to like me, and out of the people that could dislike me, Steezus Christ is really not the worst guy ever to be like, Gifted Hater sucks. I will be able to sleep at night without Steezus Christ's approval, believe it or not. Sup with the 0 gear? I just think it's cool. Okay, do you ever plan on putting a part where you fully direct how it's shot and do your own editing? I did the timeline, but Wesley has a lot of skills that I don't have. Wesley fucking knows how to write a video codec or set a video codec that lets you put it on YouTube, on a 720 camera, and it looks like fucking 4K pretty much. Wesley knows how to do color and the glowing effects, and really, he knows how to do all the small things that take the video to the next level. I mentioned some of that audio editing as well. The little things that make a video part finish. I don't know how to do any of that shit. So I need somebody an actual professional to assist me with that kind of thing. How long did it take to film? 2 years, but there was there were months at a time, 6 months, and then 2 months, and another 2 months where Wesley and I filmed nothing. I thought it wasn't going to get done, and then I started skating with Luke, who used to film for New Balance, and we just started filming stuff. And I think he's going to help with, I think he's going to film a lot of the sci-fi stuff going forward. But yeah, once I started skating with him, I was like, oh, okay, actually we can kind of get this done a little bit. Most hungover clip? I'm thinking probably this one. My Ender is probably my most hungover clip. I look like shit in this clip. I'm fucking fighting for my life. Look at me. Yeah, this is when Ryan was in town, so I think we were doing a lot of drinking at this point in time. So yeah, this is probably my most hungover clip. Favorite trucks, always just standard Indies. I think, in my opinion, are the best trucks. I'm skating Aces right now. I tried the hollow Indies. I was in Arizona. I was trying to do this like nollie 3-shove like on this ramp to manual pad thing, and it was windy as fuck. And I was getting so mad because my board was so light. It was just like when I shot out the 3-shove, it was a total dice roll. So I think my relationship with hollow trucks is over. Thunder trucks, I'll use them for like certain tricks, clamp them down, do a little Nyjah setup for a long 50-50 grind. But overall, I think that Indies are my favorite truck. I think they're the best. Love the Entity part. Wish you made the thumbnail a little more serious though. The thumbnail was like the reason. Okay, so there is a little. I guess I could see why people think it was a little ironic. The thumbnail is because originally I wanted it to like. It wasn't a joke, but I wanted it to be like, I wanted it to be self-aware in that it was like, I know I'm a skate YouTuber and I wanted to like make a skate YouTuber style thumbnail, Originally, I wanted to title it Gifted Hater Reacts to Street Obstacles because I think that would be hilarious, but that doesn't mean that I'm not trying in the video or anything. I just thought that it would be like, kind of a funny thing to do to make it like fit in with the theme of my channel, Yeah, I mean, the thumbnail, sorry you didn't like it. I thought it was okay. I didn't title it Gifted Hater Reacts to Street Obstacles because I wanted to be respectful to Wesley because he worked really hard on it. And we just kind of agreed that like this would be the way of like making it most accessible and it getting the most reach, which is not always something that I'm concerned about, again, but because someone else worked extremely hard on it, not just me. That's why I just titled it Gifted Hater Street Part. What caused you to release now? Filming for something new? Yeah, I'm going to start filming for something new, and it was like just time. Like, sometimes like you dude, fucking Monster is farting like a psycho. I got some comments that were like, is Monster still alive? I haven't seen her for a while. Yep, she's alive. She's right next to me, and she is letting, like, it smells like a fart bomb. Like that you get at a party shop. Sometimes you sit on clips for long enough. You don't want to put out a video part where including stuff that you filmed 3 years ago. Yeah, okay. That's gonna wrap it, guys. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient. I'm back now. Next thing I'm gonna work on is probably reviewing that Vans video. And finding a new girlfriend.